Hey y'all, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. KG is back, little Monday night show, talking a bit of Crysencio Summerville. Also, get your thoughts on the league situation. Do you think that Leeds United can eventually topple Leicester City? I'm going to get into that, show a bit of the fixtures, and see how you're feeling about those. And of course, and there's just a few other things that I want to just highlight that's gone on recently. Before I get into it, you know the drill, people. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and of course, drop your comments below. Thank you to John L, William Morrison, Mr. P, and Parrot House for the super thanks on the last video. Much appreciated, guys. And thank you to all existing members of the channel. And if you want to become a member, membership link is in the description. Just helps me out a lot. So thank you to all existing members. Hello to everyone. Athena's in the house. Karen, Andy, Bubba, John, Blinkyfish is here. Yeah, man. So we're gonna talk about Summerville. And then we'll have a look at the league situation because it's all healthy right now. It's all good. Listen, there's been no bad vibes on these streams lately, and it's been so nice. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's been brilliant compared to 2 years of misery that we had in the Premier League when we were last there. It's been so nice. 2024 has been a doddle. It's been an absolute doddle. Although I will agree with a lot of other people, it's going to be nice to play a game this weekend where there's jeopardy in it. Every game so far this season, I thought we're going to win. Not this season, this year, I should say, 2024. I thought we're going to win. Leicester, I still think we can win, but they're a much better team than everyone else we face. So it's going to be nice to watch a game with a little bit of jeopardy. I said, yeah, Nate, 10 likes, 11 watches. That's dedication. Yeah, listen, as people come in and look, it's just free, isn't it? It helps out the channel. Surely you want to help me out, yeah? Render 6 point, it will be. Yeah, we'll do the Leicester preview later on this week. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to it, especially after Leicester's result. They rarely lose 2 in a row at this level. So can we do it though? I'd be more worried if they were playing, less. If they were playing, say, a Rotherham or something next, I'd be thinking they're not going to do it. But we're not Rotherham, people, and that could be something. I'm doing all this talking now. This could age very horribly, but it is what it is. Yeah, Mike saying Leicester at home cakewalk. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now it's been good, man. And as well as the lead stuff. I mean, as you guys know, I'm a big hockey guy, and Jaromir Jagr had his jersey lifted to the rafters. Well deserved. Legend of the game. Legend of the Penguins. Man, the ceremony was so beautiful, man. Oh, so lovely. So yeah, man, it's all good vibes, and you know the drill. I hope you're all feeling good, smelling good. And Nate here was called crazy about potentially getting the title, maybe in the cards. Well, we'll go through that in a bit, Nate. But what I want to go through first is the Summerville talk, because I didn't highlight it from the commentary, but and I'll get into it in a minute. But here's Ben Jacobs' comments about Crysencio Summerville. Summerville was not interested in leaving the club in the aftermath of suffering relegation all last month. He is also not desperate to seek a route out of Ellen Road if Leeds remain in the Championship for the 24-25 campaign. Now, and I want to go on to that in just a bit. But on the commentary for the last game, who did we play, man? These things are just blurring all together, man. Who did we play last? Who did we just beat? I've forgotten. But listen, whoever we just beat last year, the commentator mentioned about Willie Nanto and all the problems that Daniel Farker had. And he also said about Crysencio Summerville wanting to force a move out. And I thought, whoa, you're putting something on his jacket there that wasn't there, because I know for a fact Summerville did not ask to leave. He was, yeah, Plymouth. It was Plymouth again. You're right. Absolutely. I know that he was subject of interest from a club. I think he may have even had a bid for him turned down, but he never seeked a route out of the club. And I can tell you that for a fact. So I thought that was a bit naughty of the commentator. You should always check your facts there, because you're kind of staining people's jacket when you're putting out information like that. But Summerville wasn't interested in leaving. And as far as I'm aware, he wasn't interested in leaving last month as well. He wants to see this through. Now, the thing that I want to get onto is he's also not desperate to seek a route out of Ellen Road if Leeds remain in the Championship for the 24-25 seasons. Yeah, Blinky Fish. It could have been. It could have been. That was rubbish. Think he meant Sinister. It could have been that. But still, if not, you've got to go back and correct it, man. Because it's going out on Sky Sports, and you see the viewer figures. By the way, I think Phil Hay highlighted them recently when Leeds are playing. It goes out to a lot of people, so you should always just check your facts there. But you could be right there, Blinky Fish. And Gavin here saying Cree will be Prem next season. He will. Now, I'm going to talk to you like we're going up next season, because I'll be honest with you. I've already said I don't think we're going to win every game from now to the end of the season, but it's going to take something monumental for me not to believe this team isn't going to get promoted. I just see it the way that we're winning games right now, it just instills confidence in me. And I think it's done that to a lot of you too, a lot of you guys too. But let's just say Somerville, we don't go up. I think it's very unrealistic, or it's very, wishful thinking to think that he'll still be here getting ready to play Rotherham and Plymouth next season. I think it's wishful thinking. The language used there, he's also not desperate to seek a route out of Ellen Road. I think that is just more the case of either way, whether Leeds go up or not, he knows that he's got to move to the Premier League ready in the summer. There's just far too much interest in him, people. And I again tell you this for a fact. There's far too much interest in him from the Premier League for him to stay in the Championship for another season. It's just not going to happen. So as much as I, selfishly from a fan point of view, if we stay down, I would absolutely love Somerville to stay. Goes without saying. But I've got to use my sensible head here and say, he's going to be in the Premier League next season with or without Leeds, but it will be with us. Ryan here saying it will have to go horribly wrong for us to stay in this league. And you know what, Ryan? People will say that look what's happened to us previously, even with Bielsa and everything. I just feel different with this one. I feel different. I feel like the mentality of these players is different to what we've had in previous years, where they were a bit frail, a bit fragile, a bit weak. I feel like these guys are way stronger, and it comes from people like Roden, Ampadu, and all these guys, belief in themselves, like Summerville, Jorginho, Willie Nonto, Dan James, who's got a new lease of life. I just think that there's just too much. I think there's too much talent, too much mental strength in this team to fold. I don't think we're going to do the Leedsy thing. Again, this could be a take that ages like milk. I don't care. I don't think we're going to do the Leedsy thing and will come the end of the season. Yeah, Nate here saying we'll lose Somerville, Nonto, Jorginho, and Strauch if we don't go up. Yeah, interesting list there, Nate. But yeah, 100%. I think you just have to think, as much as you would love to believe that these guys would be here if we don't go up, they're too good for this league as we're speaking right now. The cheat codes in this league, people. Like, we have literally got cheat codes in our team. It's unfair. That's why we hear the Plymouth boss in the last game talking about how lucky, how good it was that they kept us down to 2 shots on target. That's what we're working with right now with the players that we have. And as I tell you already, when you lose players like Somerville, he will then turn into a Matt Ritchie. And then you have to try and talk yourself into, oh yeah, but Matt Ritchie's done it at this level before. This could be a good signing. It's all downhill from there, people. You become a team that is preparing for the Prem to just becoming another solid Championship team. And we do not want to do that. JSY saying that we will definitely go up. Yeah, I feel like everyone's feeling it. As long as the team keep on winning, by the way, and even if there is a blip, I'm talking a blip, say we draw one and lose one in a row, I'm still going to believe that we will then go on another run. And I'm sure, you know what, I'm sure Southampton fans are thinking the same. They went on that massive unbeaten run. They lose a game. They get straight back on the horse and win again. And I feel like we'll have that confidence in this team as well. Mr. Ripper here saying Roden isn't our player yet, and we don't know what the conditions will be. But yeah, Ampadu, it would surprise me if other clubs haven't looked at them. We know the drill, people. When these players do well at Leeds United, they are targeted by everybody. We can never keep our better players while we've been in the lower leagues. It's just never happened. They always eventually go, or we'll get one more year, otherwise we're going to leave. And that's just the way football is. It's just very pink fluffy clouds to think that we're going to see Crysencio Summerville at the start of next season if we begin another Championship campaign. It's just not realistic. But what I think the article Ben Jacobs is saying is that he's not going to force his way out. And I do believe that with Cree. I don't think he will force his way out. I think he will just let things take its natural course, and there will be Premier League clubs that will bid for him. Yeah, Pops here is saying also in regards to Ampadu, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've got a lot to hold on to, and those players that everyone's mentioned so far, maybe apart from one, I do think can play in the Premier League, but of course they will need help when we get promoted. Listen, I always tell people to be cautious with the promotion thing, because I know a lot of you get attached to these players when they get you up, but you also have to look at all the cases. Look at Burnley and Sheffield United right now. Smashed the league last season, killed it, absolutely killed it. Some have added to their squad. Well, they both added to their squad. They lost a couple players, but you've seen what's happened in the Prem. It's a completely different level. You have to get stronger in certain areas in the Prem, have to be more efficient, and hopefully these guys will be. but you have to prepare better. And I'm sure the 49ers will be doing that work behind the scenes already. So I'm not worried about that. I don't think we're going to be sentimental FC and let everyone who got us up to have a chance. It just doesn't work like that, people. And then you're just asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble. Look, we thought we conceded a lot of goals that year when Bielsa got sacked. Sheffield United, I think they've conceded 9 more than we have at this stage, and I thought we was getting battered. So that's what I'm saying. Don't take any risk, but keep your better players. Nate here saying, if Ward-Prowse went for 50, you think Summerville would be 40 minimum, or at least 40, Nate. And I'm being generous with that, because you're saying about Ward-Prowse. I'm also thinking Lavia as well. Lavia, who had a good to decent season in the Prem. He went for, what was it, 50, 60 with add-ons. Yeah, we've got to be looking for that for someone like Summerville. We cannot let these players go for cheap. Don't keep them if they don't want to be here. I always maintain that, but get the best price possible. Jackie is saying, we won't be like Sheffield United and Burnley. We won't lose our best players. Apple, Jack, and everyone else. Again, here comes the arrogant Leeds fan talking, but it is what it is. We are a bigger club than those. So Leeds United in the Premier League is way more attractive than staying at Sheffield United. That's just the way it is. Okay. Facts are facts. They don't care about people's feelings. But Jack is right. We won't lose anyone. But the only way I think we lose these kind of players is if the big boys come in. I'm talking your Champions League level teams. That's when you maybe have to go, oh man, what are they offering and what can we get to replace? But at least then you're working with Premier League talent, and you're not thinking in the Championship where you think, oh, we've lost Summerville and here comes some second-rate winger that we have to replace him with. We won't have to do that. So, but yeah, I've got confidence that we go up, our key players stay. Let's have a look here. Yeah, Clem here saying, definitely don't need that old guard sentiment when we get promoted. As I've said, and I'll repeat it till the end of the season, everybody can't go. It's as simple as that. As much as everyone would love it, and then oh, they got promoted together. Oh, let them play together. Oh, give them a chance. Nah, mate, we've done it already, people. The proof's been in the pudding. Okay, the proof has been in the pudding. You cannot do it. You just can't do it. Look how dominant Burnley were last season in this division. They killed it. They were scoring at a canter. Vincent Company, he's tried it again, and they can't buy a win. Their record is almost as bad as Sheffield United, except for Sheffield United keep losing 5-0. And we know how that feels, people. It wasn't that long ago. So people keep that in your memory banks fresh. Nate here, who would be your most ruthless sale in the summer if we get promoted? I mean, there's a couple, but I guess the one that sticks out for me straight away is Melier. I just don't believe that we can do it again with him. And I like a lot of the propaganda that's going around, but even fans are seeing through it. The official accounts and everything keep on putting out 15 clean sheets, which is awesome. But people know what it is. He's hardly seen any shots, and that's the way that we need to keep it with this guy. But I would absolutely get a real goalkeeper in the summer. And again, I repeat again, if you've not been watching Premier League football, when the goalkeepers have been bumped at times this season, people, they're not given the fouls. And we've seen how light Melier is. You only have to look at him. If he gets bumped and the ball goes in and it's given us a goal, that's going to be a hindrance on us. No, we need a real commanding goalkeeper when we go up. So maybe that would be the most ruthless sale, because I don't think he's going to sit on the bench, and he shouldn't, because he is a number one goalkeeper. I just don't think it's going to be here. Does anyone else have any other names? This is stuff for the end of the season, but I'm willing to hear it out. Render here, Bamford doing great, but can't trust him in the Premier League again as much as I like the bloke. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of him personally, but yeah, it's nothing to do with him personally. But again, if you're going up again and you're banking on Patrick Bamford to be your striker, then we're going to be in the same mess. It's as simple as that. We can't do it. That's what I'm saying. Everybody can't go, and I'm seeing that thing going around. Well, he did all right, scoring 17 goals. How many factors do we need to talk about with that 17 goals? There was no fans. There was no fans there. That's a big deal. We got promoted with no fans, and we finished 9th with no fans. Fans come back, we crap the bed. We crap the bed. I do have ideas on a goalkeeper, Mr. Ripper, but I'm going to keep them to myself to the end of the season. Okay. You know what I mean? Don't want anyone biting my ideas. But yeah, Bamford can't go, but wish him all the best on his new adventure. But if look, if we're lining up with some of the players that did it with us before that weren't good enough, then we're just asking for trouble. And I'm sure the 49ers who were with us in part in that time will go, you know what, we can't do this again. I would hope so. Furpo added to there. I agree with that too. As good as Furpo has been at this level, it's at this level, and that's where you have to differentiate the two. So yeah, I'm with you there. Ryan here though, adding Peru for him. Don't think he can make the step up. We shall see. We shall see. Maybe he won't be here, especially if Farker's still the manager. And I want to speak about Farker just a bit later on when I come to a little bit of later news. But yeah, so yeah, basically on the board of Summerville, it'd be great if he was to stay if we don't go up, but we're going up anyway, people. So don't worry about it. That's the message. But yeah, if you think he would stay if we're in the championship, of course, leave it in the comments below. Yeah, I mean, Jack, I mean, Bamford lost the foot race to a Rotherham centre back. Who was it again? But it's not just him, it's been in other teams, and it's not always about pace. You know, I refer back to Berbatov when he was at Spurs, Man United as well, but he was never the quickest, but Berbatov would be ahead of you in his mind, 3 steps ahead. So he didn't need to be the quickest. He was silky smooth, man. Berbatov, what a player. But Becky will score more goals in it and all that stuff. But yeah, you know what I mean. You don't have to be the quickest, but if you're not ahead here, then you've lost it. And you've already seen against some championship centre backs, he gets left behind. Oh, Mike, now you're speaking my language, Benjamin Sesko. Oh, that would be lovely, but hey. Nate here, Dan James. Yeah, I mean, again, the final third stuff has improved from Dan James in this season, but you see how you get opportunity over and over again at this level. You're not going to get that at the Premier League. So I don't know. Maybe you keep Dan James for the bench. But I wasn't insane. Remember me saying about Dan James, I like him in the championship, but I trust Nanto more in the Prem. It's because there's just it's a different skill set. It's a different feel. I can't actually describe it in words, but I know what I'm talking about, which doesn't help any of you. But Nanto is more of a Premier League player than Dan James is to me. He's just got more about him. Yeah, that is dreamland. It is, pops. It is. That's like a football manager move. But if we're ambitious enough, hey, never say never. um, let's have a look. I know, Nate. And the thing is, Nate, there's nothing wrong with being wrong about it. I wouldn't feel bad. You should be happy, because if you're proven right, I never understand that when you're proven right and it actually affects your football club in a negative way. I don't see what joy anyone gets out of that. But so, Nate, you being wrong about DJ at this level that's great because it means he's proved you wrong. That's awesome. Oh, Ryan, Jonathan David up top would be a dream. I don't know, man. He's kind of fallen off the last couple of years. You don't think? I think he's fallen off. He used to be linked with all those big clubs. I mean, I know he was linked with us at one time. I don't know, man. Maybe he just needs a fresh start. Maybe it could be like a Glenn Kamara thing where he needs a fresh start and he can, restart his career. But I don't know. Hasn't he gone a little stale? I don't know. Isaac here, shout out to you, Isaac, man. Hi, KG. It's paramount we go up this year. Otherwise, it will be 100 times harder next season if we don't. Yeah, 100%. I'm not even thinking about next season in the championship. I'll be real with you. Right now, I'm kind of half focused on what we need to do for the Premier League. So that's where my head is at the moment. That's very dangerous too, in case we are let down, and then it's nothing but disappointment. But yeah, I got my eye on the Premier League. I'm not gonna lie. Nate here, no cap hot take. He loves Strouk. Oh, but okay, your name is No Cap. Fair enough. He was replying to No Cap. My bad. Pascal Strouk for me, KG. I can't trust that man at the back for the Prem. Yeah. That's another one. You have to get another centre back. Regardless of whether Roden signed or not, we're going to need centre backs regardless. And yeah, I would strengthen there too. Unless Daniel Farker sees Ampadu and Roden as the centre back partnership, but yeah, I would get another real man defender in the back as well. Pause. Yeah, and Render, exactly. That's what we want. Players proving us wrong 100%. Big time. Especially when it benefits the football team. I never understand that. What joy people get at saying, I told you so. If it affects your team, never understand that. So yeah, listen, we're talking about going up to the Prem, but we have to get up first. And of course, this is the way the table looks right now. Leicester City putting a little blotch on their record with a home loss, which was quite surprising. We're currently in second, and of course, I'm going to go on the basis that we win the game on Friday against Leicester. Yeah, so we'll go with that. Oh, he score a hat trick? I didn't see that. I didn't see it, Ryan. I haven't really caught up with league like the last month or so. So I need to get back into it. But yeah, I love league and football, man. But yeah, listen, we're in current second place now. Let's say we win that game against Leicester on Friday, which is a possibility. Of course, it is. You know, we're at home, the fortress. That would leave us. I should have done my maths before. Is it 6 points behind people? Yes, it is. It's 6 points behind. Now, of course, then you're then asking other clubs in the table to do things that they haven't done all season, and that's make Leicester go on a bit of a losing streak in order for us to jump over them. But when you look at our SJ44, oh my lord, it's a gimme, yeah. Oh my days, wow, we are getting confident, yeah. Mark is saying here, how can Stroud get back in with only conceding a few in the last 8 games? Yeah, I mean that's the point. When he comes back, does he even get back in ahead of Ampadu at this level? It's hard for Daniel Farker to drop that partnership and then take Gruev or Kamara out the midfield. It's very tough. Great problems to have. But look, when you look at shall I go to let me go Leicester first. So we're going on to Leicester's fixtures first, yeah. They have us, of course. Then they're also in the FA Cup along with us. But then their March. We're going to speak about Sunderland in just a moment, but that's a tricky away tie. Sunderland have just got a new manager. QPR at home. Well, you should be a banker. Hull away can be tricky, but then of course they got the Southampton. That should be a tasty one. Bristol away could be tough. So there's a couple of potential banana skins in there, yeah. But then you look at ours, and of course, you can lose any game. Fixtures are only what they are on paper. But when you look at ours, of course, we got a big old meaty fixture there with Chelsea away, midweek. Okay, Huddersfield away. I fully expect us to win that game. I don't care about the West Yorkshire rival. Makes no difference to me. We're a much better team than Huddersfield. Stoke City at home would expect to fare well in there. This could be the banana skin, of course, for us. Sheffield Wednesday away, Friday night game. I don't know why they've done that again, but it is what it is. Then, of course, we get another one after I think it's an international break, isn't it? Millwall at home, but again, I'd expect us to beat Millwall. That could be a tricky one. Watford away, and then Hull on the 1st of April. But what I'm basically saying, people, is we're playing a lot of teams at the bottom half of the table, near the bottom. So there is a chance to get maximum points in quite a lot of these games. Now, of course, it's going to take Leicester a bit more of a blip than losing just 2 games in a row. But I'm asking you guys, because you guys seem to be very confident these days, okay? Do you think that we can take first place in this division? I'm still of the belief at this point in time, as I speak to you on the 19th of February, that it's still Leicester's to lose. I do think that even if we win on Friday, I just don't see other teams in the league having the quality to keep beating them. But yeah, I'm asking you. Let's have a look here. Nate here. We are winning the league. Shout out to you, Nate. You're back, man. You're back. You're back and you're loud and proud. Gavin here saying, if we win Friday, then yes. But even then, what I'll add to that, though, because there'll probably be other people that are saying the same, Gavin. If we win Friday, that's still a 6-point gap. That's 2 losses that they need to have, and we still need to jump over them. You're saying that is definitely doable. Zero Fox saying it's on the cards, KG. Okay, all right, man. Ryan here saying it's in our own hands. Dave in the house here. David, sorry. KG, I think we can still get first. Not cert, but it's doable. It is doable, but when you just think about Leicester and the way that they've done it this season so far, we can give them the second loss in a row. That is definitely possible. But then another, I don't know. I mean, let me just go back to their fixtures. Bournemouth in the cup, QPR at home. I mean, I've got to think Leicester are winning that game. So yeah, Gail in the house. Yeah, I think we can do it. Jasby is saying he believes we can go up as champions. Sorry, it's gone up there. I can't get there. Yeah, our goal difference is great. Absolutely brilliant. And Gavin, though, adding though, if Leicester lose on Friday, they will have the jitters. Okay, all right. Yeah, it will be a test. It definitely will. As I think Sheffield Wednesday will be for us. That's always, for whatever reason, that's always been a tough game for us, man. Andrew here saying we'll be within 3 points, but end second. Still a great finish. Yeah, at this point, people, I'm just concentrating on the automatic promotion places. I don't care if it's first or second. Of course, it will be nice to raise the trophy at the end of the season, but I just want out of this division, no matter what. So second place, I'll be more than happy. I will sleep like a baby, no problem. Don't care about the first as long as we go up. So, but I'm just more getting the feeling of you guys because I've seen a lot more confidence in the comments lately, and I love it. And there's nothing wrong with it, by the way. This isn't deluded. If you think we can leapfrog Leicester, the team has given you the confidence to believe we can finish first. It's as simple as that. When the team gives you confidence to think you're going to overtake Leicester, again, that's a positive thing. So there's no delusion of it's not deluded to think you can do so, to think that we can do so. But since the turn of 2024, the form has been outstanding. It's been absolutely brilliant. So I completely get it. Yeah, Russ. What? Yeah, I believe this as well. It's better to have something to aim for than to just be sat comfortable. Yes, in football and in life, Russ. I completely agree. Athena here saying agreed, but if we go first, I will be over the moon. Yeah, of course. We get to see armpits, man. We'll see, see us lifting the trophy again. I'd absolutely love it, but I just want promotion. Whether we got a C next to our name or a P, I'm good with either. Mark here, though, saying, nah, Cage, first all day long. Anything else is a blip. No, no, no. No, anything but promotion is a blip, Mark. If we finish second, you're not going to be crying over that, are you, Mark, or anyone else? We're going, damn it, why couldn't we finish first? Urgh. Like, as long as you go up, right? That's the only thing that matters, yeah? I don't. The only thing that is a blip is if we don't get promoted. I've said that from the start with the team that we have, and I said this from early on. So please go back if you don't believe me. With the team we have, with the manager we have, with his experience in the league, anything else but promotion is a failure. Because then what are all these wins about? They mean absolutely nothing if we don't go up. Yeah, let's have a look. Jim here saying Sunderland will be coached the rest of the season by Duds who helped them beat Leeds. Jim, segue king, because I'm going to go on to this. First of all, it was reported that Michael Beale set to part ways with Sunderland as decision has been made. It's over. Club statement to follow soon. And by the way, and on that talk about Leapfrog Leicester, if you got anything else, please leave it in the comments below, of course. But yeah, this was reported, and I don't know if anyone saw this in regards to Michael Beale, but a player of theirs, I can't remember the player's name, but he got subbed off and he put his hand out to Michael Beale. Michael Beale definitely heard him. It wasn't what Michael Beale said. He tried to clean it up on social media, saying he didn't know that the player there had tried to, shake his hand. That's BS. He walked right past him and he just ignored him because Sunderland were losing that game against Birmingham City. So he ignored him there. And the fans have been on Michael Beale pretty much since he got appointed. It's been a nightmare. And Sunderland here now, as Jim rightfully says, are back with Mike Dodds, who was their interim manager earlier this season when they changed managers again. And now he's going to be there till the end of the season. And this is one thing I wanted to go on. Yeah, he refused to shake his hand. Yeah, just let him walk off. It was poor. Very, very poor. But this is what I wanted to go on to just in regards to Farke. And this is, again, this is probably more end of season talk, but this is what I want to avoid now. I want everything to work out with Daniel Farke. Things that haven't worked in the championship for me tactically, I hope that he will make adjustments once we go up, because no matter how great his record in this league is, and it is superb. I mean, I read a stat from like 2004. He's the most winning manager in this division. That's insane. That is an insane stat. But again, the difference between Championship and Premier League, it's night and day, people. I just hope that, let's just say he's not properly backed, like he wasn't at Norwich. I hope he then doesn't try the same tactics he did at Norwich here, and then we get opened up like we did in our second year back in the Prem. I just hope that he's learned some stuff, because I don't want this anymore. I was sick of it last season when we had like 4 different managers in the Prem. Tired of it. I would love Daniel Farke to be the long-term successor and have the seat for a while, and then we can talk, how successful he is. Is he better than so-and-so? Is he better than, whoever that you think is the best manager that we've had recently? So that's just what I wanted to say. It's nice to have stability in the seat. It's nice to have a manager that believes in himself. He definitely does. although how stubborn he is at times, it's working in his favor right now. But when we go up, he will have to change a few things because just one example. Again, I do want to say this till the end of the season. Um, if he's to do the same things that he does in this league, i.e., not change anything around 65 minutes, especially when we're not winning, it's not just going to go under the radar in the Premier League. You can do it in this division against Rotherham, Plymouth. That's cute, but it then goes on to everything else: Sky Sports, Talk Sport, interviews. It's more intense, isn't it, at the Premier League level? So I'm just hoping that that's just something where he just believes in the players so much at this level that he doesn't feel to change it. But if there's glaring weaknesses in the Prem, even like in the last game where Jorginho wasn't having his best game and he ends up with the Player of the Match award. In the Premier League, Jorginho isn't going to get those kind of looks, late on in the game. We can't just rely on that because there's players on the other team that will be just as good, if not better. So he's going to have to learn from those kind of things, and I hope he does. I really do. I don't want to go for another stream and talk about a new manager. Not interested. I would love stability. So what we saying is that Mark here is saying no. I think Farke will be great in the Premier back, which he will. He's learned from the past. But yeah, I mean, I repeat with that though. Bielsa, wasn't backed with what he wanted, but you still then with what you've got to be tactically smart, and neither coach was. For as smart as they were not tactically smart with what they did because they kept on getting beat heavily. These aren't me guessing. This what happened. We were losing to Palace 4-1 when Palace weren't scoring more than 2 goals in the game. What was it? When was that home game against Leicester? I think it was before or after that Palace game. We was down 2-0 or something very quickly. So we do have to be smarter. And I just hope he's learned his lesson. That's all you can ask for. Because I don't think the 49ers are going to change him in the summer. I think they're going to go with him. He's done the job. It's now up to him what he does in the Prem, but he has to be tactically smarter. Ryan here, let me just get a sip of drink. Would love a 5 to 10 year stint with a manager. I would love nothing more, Ryan. It would be nice to have that kind of stability. And imagine if Farke does all those things and guides us to safety in our first year back, gets us mid-table the year after, and then we're pushing on with smart recruitment. That's a great conversation to have then, isn't it? Especially if he can get us into Europe, then we can compare it to O'Leary. But until then, nobody can be compared to him. It's as simple as that. And Mark here adding as well, our owners will show their a step up if we go up and more money. Yeah, that's something I'm not worried about with the 49ers. I know that January's transfer window was a bit dicey, but you got to understand the P&S parameters we're playing with. But I think that if we are to go up, I think the investment that they were showing in this team, I'm not worried about it. I think they're going to be very, very smart once we get back to the Prem. David here, is Farke astute enough? I guess we can only know that if and when he's given the chance. The Prem is different gravy, though. Yeah, 100%, David. Exactly. For all the great stats that you've seen about his record in this division and all the wins that we're reeling off, he did this kind of thing with Norwich. He was running away with this league with Norwich, and then you get to the Prem and it's like, oh, you know what I mean? It's like, but hopefully, and this is all you can do. You can't charge him guilty just because he did it with Norwich before. Let's see what he does with this football team when they're in the Prem. Let's just say he only gets 2 additional signings, which would be poor, by the way. But let's just say that happens. He has to be smarter with how he sets the team up. Otherwise, we'll just get carved open again. Hope we go up. Let's have a look. Render here saying only get that 5 to 10 years with being successful. Yep, correct. 49ers need to back up their chat when they came in, especially if we got to Premier. I think they will, Render. I know it's it's dangerous to assume, but I just think that ownership group were going to spend, what was it, 400 million on this team or 2? I can't even remember the figure. What was the figure before we got relegated? Didn't they pay something like 170 million once we got relegated, and it was going to be something like 300 or 400? Regardless, they were going to pay a lot of money to purchase Leeds if we had stayed in the Prem. And I just don't see them not putting that investment into the actual football team and the infrastructure around the club. I think they're going to do something with the stadium. I think all that is going to finally come to fruition. But I've got faith in these owners, man. Yeah, I thought so, Jack. Yeah, because it's so long ago now, but it kind of went hazy. But yeah, it was going to be a big figure they were going to buy this football club for, and the only reason why they paid so little is because we got relegated. That to renegotiate the price, so they were going to put in a lot of money to begin with. So yeah, we're going to have some money, man. Um, Matt C, we we have some Prem experience coming back in the summer. Let's not forget, Matt. I try and forget every week, man, but you guys keep on reminding me. Yeah, now we got to get those boys off the books, man. Harrison, all them guys. I don't care who it is, Aronson, all of them. Get them out of here. They don't fit what this team is anymore. You can't have someone like Jack Harrison in this team. The players that we have now, Jorginho, Somerville, Nanto, even Dan James, they all believe in their ability. Jack Harrison don't believe in himself. That was half of the problem with most of the squad that we had that when we got relegated. They didn't believe in themselves. Jesse Marsh gets laughed at a lot, and rightly so at times, but he was 100% on the money when they said they were scared. I mean, I saw it firsthand in the game against Tottenham. These guys were hiding on the football pitch, man. It was a disgrace what we saw. And I want people just to remember that it wasn't that long ago. You should still be remembering how much that team wilted, gave up, given. They were poor. So I don't want to see any of them back. Nothing to do with them being out on loan and not doing the hard yards to get us back up. It's because they weren't good enough. They were not good enough. Um, Yeah, yeah. Isaac Rad's missed out. I mean, he's still got a cool, part of change, didn't he, Isaac? He didn't. He's not going to be scrounging around the job center anytime soon. But yeah, yeah, he did miss out. That's a lot of money to miss out. But Rajazani, man, he had one more in him, didn't he? He had one more in him, like Vince Carter. Uh, Jim Aronson would fit this side, I think, but yeah, his confidence is shaky. Nah, nah, Aronson, no. Look, Aronson, I think he could be a good player somewhere, but even in Germany, he's struggling right now, and that's the Bundesliga, man. Look, no, no, we need to make a fresh slate with these guys and just say goodbye. Say goodbye to him. Um, Jim here saying seems Marsh was the only thing keeping them from giving up. Yeah, but I mean, if you remember as well, though, Jim, and when Marsh came to the end, I think it was after that 2-1 loss against Villa, even he had run out of like anecdotes and positivity messages. He'd lost it. Even he was out of ideas. He knew he wasn't getting his messages across, whether they were good messages or not. The players weren't receiving them. So yeah, he had to go at that time anyway. Yeah, yeah. Isaac saying Aronson would be a bench option. If he's a bench option, Isaac, we're in trouble. I don't want him. I don't want it, people. um, no, I don't think he is a troll, Matt. I think no, Jim's not a troll. I don't think he's one of those. Um, Mark here back in the house. Yeah, Mark saying left back, right back, centre back, and a centre forward, plus a really good attacking midfielder. Mark, what about the goalkeeper? But no, I know some of you believe Melier. No problem with that. But yeah, there's a lot of positions that will need to be strengthened. And I think Daniel Farker will know that as well, and he will have a list ready. I'm fully confident in those guys. You know, call me silly or something, especially with the ownerships that we've had previously. But there's something about the 49ers that I just trust. And I think that they will do the right thing by us when we get back to the Premier League. Um, there was another piece of news. Oh, people, I can't leave without sharing this because this goes back to January recruitment. Yeah, but just before we move on to my last piece, can't be making a loss of 40 million on Llorente, Cock, and Aronson. Well, Cock's gone. He's gone on a free, so there's no point talking about Robin Cock. He's played the duration of his contract. That's that. No problem there. But yeah, Llorente, Aronson, I think we will make some money back on these players. And even if not, best case scenario would be no, worst case scenario for me would be to loan them back out with a view to permanent transfer the next summer. So at least then we don't have to think about loaning them back out next year or trying to sell them. Let's get them on a loan with a permanent with a view to permanent and just say goodbye. No point bringing these guys back. But yes, I need to show this before we go. And it goes back to the recruitment of the January window. And a lot of people will talk about Mason Holgate and saying, he'd do a good job for us. And I told you from the start, what did I say about Mason Holgate, people? Do you remember? The bozo gene is active in this guy. And it's funny because even a Southampton fan was saying it's so weird that we loaned him from the Prem. He couldn't get a game for us, and when he did play, he was awful. And now he's gone back to the Prem with Sheffield United, and it is. But that tells you a story about Sheffield United's recruitment. But this was one reason. And listen, bad tackles can happen in any game. You know, Ampadu could do one on the weekend, but you know what? He's not a bozo. You know, he's not known for it. This guy is a full-on bozo, and this tackle against Mitoma yesterday was a disgrace. And this is what we would have got. So this is what I mean. Sometimes when you miss out on players or miss out on players, it's a positive. It means it's an addition by subtraction or just not getting them. Yeah. And if we had got this guy, we would have been in jeopardy because he doesn't think. He's an absolute bozo on the football pitch. And, you know, Sheffield United are struggling enough as it is. They're literally down to 10 men within 20 minutes. And then, you know, they go on to lose 5-0. Crazy. That's why I always say, just because a player comes from the Premier League when you're in this division doesn't mean it's always going to be a positive for you. If we had got this guy, he would have cost us in a couple of games this season. I guarantee it. Especially in this league where there's no VAR, he'd have gone crazy with these kind of tackles because he is a championship defender overall, but just not one for this great football club. Yeah, it was a wilder tackle. Yeah, I mean, Chris Wilder was trying to dress it up, saying, you know, even 10, 15 years ago, when Chris, with all due respect, and I love how physical the game used to be, you were still getting a card for this. You're still getting a red card for that. It was a leg breaker, huh? It was a leg breaker. Um, League One, yeah, League One. Oh man. Uh, I'm not going to put that one up, Mark. But yeah, and the gum chewing guy. I've told you about that before, man. I've got a little bit of misophonia. I'm trying to get better with it though. I really am because I realize not everyone can eat normally. But yeah, I don't like the way he chews gum, like Thomas Frank, and he like, ugh. But yes, um, Ryan, that would make Batty proud. Yeah, yeah. But that's the thing as well. Batty was a strong tackler, but he would get the ball, and if he didn't get the ball, he'd get the lower part of your leg. You know, he'd make it debatable. But this guy went for the knee. You know what I mean? And this is not the first time he's done it, and that's why he's got history with the Bozo G. Um. Oh, David. Oh, here we go. It was a tickle of a challenge. I tackle my grandson harder. Ah. Oh man, yeah, 70s tackle, man. It's just outrageous. But there you go, people. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes be grateful you miss out on a player. Before I go, there's a super chat from Isaac. Thank you, Isaac. I know it's all hypotheticals, but this team wouldn't have got relegated last year, in my humble opinion. They have more grit, hunger, and togetherness. Togetherness is fine, Isaac, but togetherness doesn't get you points on the football pitch. The team that was together in the 2 years where I was saying that half of them should be sold, they were together until it got sticky. And then, if you remember, when results started to go against them, you get in social media posts from players, you know, not liking the stick they're getting because they're not constantly getting double wristed anymore. It's all criticism, and they couldn't take it. They were putting out posts. Their partners were putting out posts. You're together until it gets sticky, Isaac. So yeah, togetherness don't do it for me. You have to have ability and mental strength as well, and that team just didn't have it. Overall, they didn't have it. And then once Tyler Adams went out from the midfield, we were dusted. We were absolutely dusted. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know about would it have survived last season? I think maybe they would have survived this season with the way that the bottom of the league is. But I don't just want to survive. I want to be a bit better than that. I want to be a bit better than that. Well better than that. But I'm being realistic upon return to the Prem. I'd be happy with 14th, comfortable 14th. If we could do better, that would be nice. But I'd be comfortable with that. I don't want to see 17th or those kind of positions again. Forget about it. Forget it. Jack here saying that Sheffield United team is truly awful. Oh, Jack, oh my days. Employing Mason Holgate and Tom Davis at Prem level is criminal. That's what I'm saying. You get the recruitment wrong in this thing. you're in trouble. Oh, by the way, the player that we were linked with, if you remember Gustavo Harmer. He's done all right for Sheffield United this season. I'll be real with you. But did anyone see the picture of him going round of him in the Penny Black pub the night before the game? He was in the pub before drinking. The Penny. If you don't know, hold on a minute. The Penny Black is a pub in Sheffield. And he was there the night before of the game against Brighton, drinking. People were having their pictures taken with him while he was on the booze. I mean, listen, that yeah, I mean, come on. But yes, Jack, you're absolutely right. Tom Davis, he should be in the championship. Norwood should be in the championship. Norrington Davis should be in the championship. All of their players probably should be in the championship. Let's be real, but that's why they've got the record they have. So let's try and avoid that. Render, though, agreeing with Isaac, this team over last year's hands down. Yeah, I mean, in terms of likability, Render and Isaac, I 100% love this team more than the one last year. I told you already, I could not stand looking at some of these players last year. And then when I was there against Tottenham, man, all of them could have gone for all I care. I absolutely got sick of seeing their names for a start and then seeing them wear this great football shirt and not being worthy to wear it. They were a disgrace, absolute disgrace. And whatever happened against Crystal Palace, I don't care what happened at halftime, before halftime against Palace. From there, they were gutless. We were going into games that were winnable for where we were. We weren't guaranteed 3 points. Not saying that, but they were winnable games, and we got battered in every single one. I mean, one of the worst ones, people. Let me just tell you, one of the worst ones is West Ham celebrating a semi-final drunk. They're about to go to a Europa, Conference League final. They're drunk. And what did they do? Didn't they still beat us 3 or 4-1? And we went ahead, didn't we? Just disgrace. That was a disgraceful team. 31 points tells you the story as well. Jim saying Harmer has always had a rep for booze and I did not know that, Jim. I didn't know that. If that's true, well, the proof was in the pudding. But yeah, he did okay in the game against Brighton. He's a good player. You can tell there's a good player there. But again, when you think about Daniel Farker and his standards, I'm not sure he would accept that. So maybe again, that's another bullet we dodge with not getting Gustavo Harmer. See, sometimes there's a positive in everything. Yeah, Paul. I mean, that was one, wasn't it? Under Javi Gracia, Bournemouth was a joke as well. 4-1 summed up everything. Had no business being beat by that Bournemouth team 4-1. No business. But we did it. That's what we did. As Rio Ferdinand said, that's what we do. And it was just poor, wasn't it? And that's why I'm saying, yeah, this team is way more likable. It's not just about winning games. It's the camaraderie with the players, and they're talented as well. Not just that they've got camaraderie with each other, and then they're just crap players. That does nothing for me. But if you've got good camaraderie amongst each other and you're talented, love to see that. Absolutely loved it. Brenda saying, never hated a set of players of my own team as much as last year's. Big one. I'm 100% with you, because even when we went down from the Championship into League One, there were likable guys in that team, and there was various factors as to why we got relegated. But you could tell a lot of them were trying. They were doing their best with what they had. But that team in the Prem, yeah, the less said about them, the better. Less said about them, the better. But yeah, I think that will be it, people. That is the show. That is the show for today. So I don't think there's anything else. I don't think there's anything else on the docket. There isn't. So yeah, this has been fun, man. This has been a good one, man. Like I'm saying, all the vibes are just good. The vibes are just good now, and it's a nice change. It's a nice turn of pace, I will say. Before I go, please, if you haven't already, please hit a like on the video. If you're watching replay, do so as well. Drop your comments below, and of course, yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, people. Enjoy the rest of your evening.